Patrick Vieira should be sacked. What? Welcome back to another Floppylegss Football YouTube video. I'm Floppyleggs, and if you don't know, I'm a Palace fan. And I've been scrolling through Twitter after the season so far for Palace, and I'm seeing so many tweets, so much conversation and dialogue about Patrick Vieira should be sacked. Make sure you like and subscribe for another Floppylegss Football YouTube video as we talk about Patrick Vieira and what he's done with Crystal Palace, the team that I support. If you did not know that I am a Palace fan, this channel is overall about football, but we can have many conversations about Palace. This one I never thought I'd have to have, because Patrick Vieira getting sacked, like what? If you're wondering where these tweets have come from, there's just a few on Twitter. It's the first time that I've realised that maybe Twitter isn't the best thing to be scrolling through. Like, some people just don't have any football brain. They're saying Patrick Vieira should be sacked because of our 0-0 result to Leicester, where we only managed to get one shot on target against a team that have looked really poor this season. And then hands up, if you check my prediction video out, the combined Liverpool and Man City video, there's a prediction there where I say Palace are probably going to win this game 2-1. Obviously it didn't work like that. It was 0-0. We had one shot. It was one of the most boring games I've ever seen in my life. Every shot that Leicester had was straight down Guaita's throat. He just grabbed it every single time. It was really boring. If you did watch it, I feel sorry for you as well. Like, we went through it. We had both had a very bad experience watching that terrible game. And after that, Patrick Vieira suddenly got some slander and some dialogue started to spread about maybe Patrick Vieira shouldn't be the manager for Crystal Palace. And I just want to take people a few months back. When we just lost Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson left the club and we were in a standstill. We were in everybody's predicted team to be relegated first. We were in 20th place in everyone's predicted team. A lot of people like to forget about that we were predicted to be the first team down. No chance for Palace. We had an aging squad. We had no new players coming in. We had a really stagnant team, and formation and tactics were really poor and boring. And we just lost Roy Hodgson, who kept the ship afloat for so long. It was the end of the world for Crystal Palace. It was the end of us. We were going down. But then we didn't. Why? Because Patrick Vieira came in, and as soon as he was appointed the job, myself included, there was a bit of speculation. Would he be good? First proper job within England? Would he come into the toughest league in the world and match a cult hero like Roy Hodgson's achievements with this Palace team? But with half the squad that Roy Hodgson had, and with aging players that needed to be shipped out, and we needed players to come in, it was such a massive job. You can't underrate it. If you're a Palace fan, you'll know how big this job was and how kind of fearful it was to be a Palace fan during that period of unknown territory of whether we would be safe in this league or not. But Vieira didn't just manage to keep us up. He actually excelled from our last season's position when he came in. So we were on 44 points in Roy Hodgson's last season, and we ended up in 48 points, finishing 12th in the league. 2 positions up, 4 points up, and it could have been more. If you remember last season, Vieira brought in a fantastic new style of football to the club. Of course, an incredible loanee signing of Conor Gallagher did massively propel us and help us within that season. But we made some fantastic signings in Gehi and Anderson, completely changing our style of play, playing it out from the back, pinging it, Anderson's diagonals. Obviously got discovered pretty much this season at the beginning of the season against Arsenal. Everyone started talking about Anderson, but he's been doing that for the longest time, and these were all Vieira's signings, Vieira's style of football. We have players like Zaha finally saying they were enjoying playing with the club again. Vieira changed the whole mindset around this Crystal Palace team. We turned in from one of the old, aging, boring sides that would sit down for a 1-0 win to a team that would try and score as many goals as possible and play attacking, free-flowing football. I wasn't complaining. Of course, throughout the season, there was some naivety within his management, subbing on maybe James Tompkins against Arsenal when we were 2-1 up in the final minutes. On paper, looked like a good idea, but we were attacking pretty well that game, and it did slow us down, and they scored a late equaliser. And there was a few other games. I'm thinking about Leeds, I'm thinking about Brighton. So many games where we dropped points in the final minutes of a game. We have probably had the highest statistics for that. That's the only discrepancy I have with Vieira in his time at Palace, is the final few minutes of a game we would slip up and we would always drop points or maybe lose a game out of nowhere that we probably should have won or drew. That's why I look at this Leicester game and I see an improvement. Yes, we had an awful game, but we deserved the draw and we got the draw. Do you see what I mean? Last year, we deserved a draw and we would lose in the last minute. There has been a steady improvement with this team. The fact that people have jumped ship on Vieira so quickly, in the grand scheme of things, it's only been a year, and we're already saying, well, some people, imbeciles, people that clearly have no idea about Palace. Like, I don't understand how anyone could even articulate the words, Vieira needs to be sacked. He's got 1 more year left on his contract, I believe. I think he signed a 2-year contract. I'm hoping he gets an extension. 1, who else is there? And 2, he's changed the whole ethos around Crystal Palace. Just to reiterate, last season, his first season in the Premier League with a whole new young team, new squad, new everything, new tactics, new style for Crystal Palace. We finished 12th in the league, 4 points higher than the last season, finishing in the semi-final, losing in the semi-final of the FA Cup What a brilliant run that was. We seem to forget about that. And we played a beautiful football. This season, we're 9 games in at the point of recording this video. We're playing Wolves later today, but this video isn't about later today and Wolves. We could lose to Wolves later today and have a bad performance, but I still stand by Vieira because these bad performances haven't been as frequent as people make out to be. And also, in the 9 games that we played this season, we played Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool and Arsenal. Since when were those games deciders of our season? They're not. We got a point out of it. That is a benefit. We're supposed to lose all of those games on paper, and we put up great performances in pretty much all of those games. Manchester City, obviously, Erling Haaland just turned it on a couple gears, and it was a bit too much for us. But we were 2-0 up. Like, we've looked good in these games. Of course, Leicester was a poor result and a bad performance, but the people that just automatically switch is like hot potato. Oh, that was fun while it lasted. Let's chuck that over there. Let's get on to the new manager. Like, there is no one else, first of all, and Vieira's done so well. Grow up. These are just children on Twitter that I've been triggered by, clearly, that I felt like I needed to do this video, because anyone that watches Palace week in, week out will know that it's not the end of the world, and that there will be some ups and downs and there will be some bad games, but where we are and the atmosphere around the club is so much better than that last season with Roy. So I just wanted to do that video. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a Palace fan. Do you think Vieira has done all he can for the club? Which sounds so wild to even say, but do you think Vieira's done all he can and we need to look for a new manager soon? If you're not a Palace fan, what's it like as a neutral looking into the Palace team right now? I think we're that team, you know, the team that you want to watch on the weekend potentially, because you've got a player like Eze, a player like Zaha, a player like Elise, Anderson and Gehi at the back. We're an exciting young team like this, which is something that Palace never was. I feel like we forget that because recency bias. Like, we've been doing all right. We forget what it was like during that lockdown period, a lot of us. And if you think Vieira needs to be sacked, I think you really need to take a look in the mirror and think if football's the sport for you. Okay, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video and share it around to football fans that you know and Palace fans. I want to know what Palace fans are thinking. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you.